Okay, what if I told you that we're standing right on the edge of unlocking all of human expertise? And I don't just mean the stuff that's online. I mean everything. We're going to dive into a company today with a vision so big, it's basically aiming to build the operating system for the next chapter of human civilization. This is huge. So, you see this quote, right? To organize all of humanity's expert knowledge. And you're probably thinking, wait, doesn't that sound a lot like Google? And yeah, it does. But here's the twist. This isn't about scraping the public web again. This is the mission of a company called Wyllou. And they're going after something way, way deeper. They're going after a hidden universe of knowledge that could literally change the world. All right, so to really get what Wyllou is doing, we have to talk about the problem they're solving. And honestly, it's a crisis that's hiding in plain sight. It's this massive barrier that is, right now, holding us back, holding back our entire species from reaching its true potential. I want you to really think about this question for a second. What if the cure for cancer, or the key to truly clean, abundant energy, is already written down somewhere? It exists, but it's locked away where no search engine, no AI can possibly find it. This isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is the reality we are living in right now. So, meet the villain of our story. It's called dark data, and it's basically 90%, let that sink in, 90% of all the world's expert knowledge. We're talking about scanned PDFs, old physical archives, super specialized private databases, all the stuff that's totally invisible to today's AI. It's the bulk of our collective human genius, and it's completely off the grid. And the result of all this locked-away knowledge is something the founders call a fatal asymmetry. And that phrase just hits you, right? Because it's so true. You've got a handful of people with access to a tiny sliver of our total knowledge, while pretty much everyone else is just stumbling around in the dark. And let's be crystal clear. This is not some minor inconvenience. We're not talking about slow Wi-Fi. We're talking about a rural doctor who can't find the right information and loses a patient. A farmer who doesn't know how to adapt to climate change and loses their livelihood. This isn't abstract. This costs lives. It stalls human progress every single day. Okay, so fixing this is obviously a massive moral mission, but it's also one of the single biggest economic opportunities on the planet. So just how big is the market for unlocking all this hidden knowledge? Let's break down the numbers. First up, just one sector, global digital health. We're talking $1.5 trillion. That's trillion with a T. And this is the first beachhead Wyllou is going after. Just try to imagine what happens to medicine when every single doctor has the sum of all medical knowledge at their fingertips. It's a revolution. Okay, now let's stack on top of that. Add in the global edtech market. That's another $600 billion. And again, this isn't just about making a slightly better app. Think about giving every single student on Earth a personal tutor with the wisdom of every great teacher and textbook in history. And we're not done. Let's layer on legal tech and climate tech. That's another $280 billion combined. These are areas where getting the right piece of information at the right second can literally change a person's life or help us save the planet. The stakes are just incredibly high. So, you do the math. We are looking at a total addressable market of over $2.3 trillion. But here's the key takeaway. Wyllou isn't trying to get a little slice of this pie. No, they are building the foundation, the core intelligence layer that all of these industries are going to run on in the future. So the question is, how on earth do you tackle a problem this big? A multi-trillion-dollar crisis with the future of our civilization at stake? Well, you can't just iterate. You need a breakthrough. You need a totally new kind of AI. You need an AI that doesn't lie. Willou's whole approach is built on what they call the 3 pillars of trust. First, there's Universal Ingestion. Think of it like a scanner for civilization that can finally read all that dark data. Second is semantic indexing. This creates a database of truth that actually understands meaning and context, not just keywords. And third, the absolute game changer, trustworthy synthesis. This is how they deliver answers with, get this, 0 hallucinations. And this right here is the ultimate feature. It's the thing that changes everything. Every single sentence their AI generates is 100% traceable. It's linked directly back to the original source document. We're talking page,
paragraph, even the line. If you're a doctor making a diagnosis or a judge making a ruling, that's not a nice to have. It's the only thing that matters. It's how you build absolute trust. This table really lays it all out. On one side, you've got the big AI giants, right? Super creative, but they make stuff up. They hallucinate. On the other side, you have the old guard expert databases. They're trustworthy, sure, but they're slow, clunky, and expensive. Wyllou is carving out a completely new space. And, this is critical, they can run on-premise, so a hospital's private data stays private. They're not building a faster horse here, folks. They are inventing the car.
Okay, so you have this unbelievably grand vision. How do you actually make it happen? You don't just boil the ocean. You need a strategy that's just as brilliant as the technology. And that's exactly what they have, a Trojan horse strategy. And here's how it plays out. It's so smart. In the first couple of months, you target one massive, high-impact area, medicine. Create a universal medical memory. Then, you partner with a huge, respected name, like the WHO or the NIH. You use that partnership to create the ultimate case study, proving you can massively reduce diagnostic errors. And once you have that undeniable proof, you expand to every government and major corporation on the planet. It's a roadmap to making this vision totally inevitable. And this is where it all comes together. The tech, the strategy, it all converges to create something that genuinely changes the world. We're not talking about just another piece of software here. We are talking about building the Library of Alexandria for the entire digital civilization. And look at what this makes possible. These are the kinds of applications that can literally redefine society. A universal medical memory. It's like giving every doctor in the world a Mayo Clinic expert standing over their shoulder. A university without walls. A personal Aristotle for every student. Accessible global justice. Instant legal help for anyone who needs it. This is the payoff. This is using technology to elevate all of humanity. So, the big question. How do you fund a mission this epic? The answer is just beautiful. It's a Robin Hood business model. The revenue engine is charging big corporations and governments for high-value licenses to use Wyllou with their own private data. Then, the impact engine uses a huge chunk of that money to provide access to all of the public knowledge, for free, to every single human on the planet. The founders have this quote that just nails it. Our business model is our impact model. Think about that. Profit and purpose aren't two separate things here. They feed each other. The more successful the company becomes, the more knowledge gets unlocked for everyone. It's a perfect virtuous cycle. And this model isn't just a feel-good story. It is a financial powerhouse. Look at this chart. They are projecting a 200-to-1 ratio of lifetime value to customer acquisition cost. That is just unheard of. It means for every dollar they spend to get a customer, they expect to bring in 200. So yes, this is about changing the world, but it's also designed to be an absolutely massive economic engine. So, after all of this, the sheer scale of the problem, the genius of the tech, the elegant strategy, you have to ask yourself the final question. Is this just another ambitious tech startup with a fancy slide deck? And the answer, I think, is a clear and resounding no. As the founders themselves say, we are not building an app, we are building the library of the civilization. This is it. This is the chance to build the foundational tool that unlocks the next 1,000 years of human progress. It's not just the biggest investment opportunity of the decade, it's an investment in the future of humanity itself. The real question isn't just, should we invest in this? It's, how can we afford not to?